What's up guys, today we'll be doing the SRS Concept brake booster delete. So this is probably the cheapest kit on the market, I think, and it comes with everything you need other than the brake lines, so you're gonna have to make that yourself. Obviously they're a local place here in Canada, not too far from where I am, so I figured I'd throw that in, give it a shot, see what it feels like, and give you guys a review of the whole process. I've always wanted to get rid of this booster because it's pretty close to my downpipe here, being that the exhaust on the SR20 is on the opposite side from where the M52 usually is. So I'll give you a look at the kit and what it comes with here in a second, and then we'll get to it. Okay, so here's everything that comes in the kit. I just kind of laid it all out here, ripped it out of the bags, so it's a bit messy. But the first thing you're gonna get here is a Wilwood combination master cylinder kit. And that's just standard from Wilwood. It's not like a specific E36 kit or SRS Concept stuff. This is just a Wilwood kit they'll use with their hardware and stuff. So it has a remote reservoir, the mount for that, this it's like an external hose, so you can mount that here and then run this hose separate. I think this is for the clutch, so this will feed the clutch slave or the clutch master, and then this is your brake master, and then all the mounting stuff is down here. So you're going to mount this Wilwood master straight to where the factory booster would be. So it's going to mount like that, and then the two mounting points here like that against the firewall. And then they also include a couple other things. So this is going to screw on the end of that master, and it's going to be the mount for your factory brake pedal. And then also they have this T here, so this is where you T into the brake lines when you make the lines. But I actually might not end up using this because I'm actually going to use this chase base bias valve just because I had it sitting in my toolbox and I'll never have any use for it. So I figured this will be the perfect kit to match it with, and then I'll just use this instead of the T that's provided. But this is perfectly fine if you want to use this and make your own lines off that. I'm just going to use this because I have it. It is a pretty pricey item, so yeah, if you're trying to do it on a budget or just stick to this kit, this is perfectly fine. But yeah, since I have this, I'll just use the stuff that the chase base bias valve comes with. So this little T here, and then this outline, and then I can adjust the bias if I want it front to rear. So I'll just use that only because I have it. And then yeah, it comes with all the hardware you need. So again, more brake fittings, these two for that, a couple locking nuts for whatever you need it. Everything here should be enough, minus you having to make your own brake lines. Let's get the old stuff out of the car. So as I mentioned, this factory booster sits super close to the downpipe. So I've had some issues with this booster hose in the past, and then these rivets popping. So I've replaced this booster a couple times already. But let's just get it out of the way and get started. I'm just going to start popping the master and everything straight off the brake pedal under these brake lines, and then we'll pull it off and see what we're working with. All right, here's a closer look underneath the car. Again, those 4 bolts, one up top, and then this pin on the brake pedal right here. Just pop that off. Obviously your car is probably going to look a lot different to this because this one's so gutted, but it's the same principle. So yeah, so I pulled the booster out, this clutch master feed on the back of the reservoir, and then these two brake lines. Popped it all off. And you can see here it was already starting to melt this line pretty bad. Over here is completely melted. So yeah, even with all the heat shielding and stuff around it, it's still not doing too well just because it's so close. So good thing we're getting rid of it. Okay, here's the master assembled with the mounting plate. 2 screws in the back. I've attached this brake pedal mount, but it's not tight yet because I don't know where I want to set it. And then the 2 mounting nuts on the back. You're going to want to put these screws in first because this plate is threaded, and then you can go ahead and mount the master on those 2 studs. throw this in the car and see how the fitment is. Okay, so this part is a bit tricky because you have to line up these bolts with the holes here, and then also the pedal holes. So it's best to maybe if you have two people, to have them line up the pedals, and then you can push these bolts through. Or what I've done here is attach the top pedal, or sorry, I've attached the top bolt for the pedal just so it kind of holds it somewhat in place, and I'm going to try to line it up and then push this through, and I can start putting the supplied nuts on the back side of this. So I'm going to try to get that done, and then once I have it mounted up, I'll continue recording from there. All right, so got the master pretty much mounted, one bolt left. I'm doing this myself, so I figured I'd share this tip. So what I did actually was unbolted the pedals, kind of just sat this in there. I used some painter's tape to hold it in, and then some painter's tape over the bolts. You see I have this last bolt here I need to do. And then that way I could slide the pedals over the bolts, and then just wedge an Allen key in here while I tighten the others. So yeah, if you just do that one by one, it's not that bad. Obviously, it would be a lot nicer if this piece was also threaded. That way you could thread these in and hold them there while you do the nuts from the back, just like how these ones are. But I guess, I don't know, if you want to tap these and use a different bolt, that would be easier, but it's just extra work, I guess, for no reason. So yeah, I just use some painter's tape to get them in there lined up while the pedals slid over the bolts, and then I just kind of wedge this Allen key up against the master to tighten them from the back. Slide the pin over on the brake pedal, and then we're going to get started over here on this side with the second little clutch master they give you, because obviously you can't use this brake master for this fitting here to feed it. You'll have to use a separate master and then kind of mount it somewhere. So those two are two different things now. So I just pulled the clutch master reservoir, or what's going to be the reservoir for that, and there's not really any pre-drilled place to mount this. Maybe up here, but then it sits super high. So we've got these two holes, and obviously this area seems like the best place. And what I'm going to do is just drill, I'm going to mark two holes and then drill them out for just two riv nuts. I'll press in two riv nuts up here on the firewall, and then we can just mount that kind of out of the way, maybe a little lower, just so we're not near this top portion here, and definitely not going to hit the hood or anything. So yeah, I'm going to just mark two holes now, pop in some riv nuts, probably just like a M6 or something, and then we can just mount this up here out of the way. Pretty simple. The nipple on this here actually looks like a good size for the factory hose, so I might not use the hose provided. The Wilwood stuff does come with this hose here, but I guess to make things simpler and not take it apart from the master up there on the pedals, I might just trim this piece and then just route it straight up. So it's just using that, and then that'll be it for that side. Okay, so I've got my two riv nuts in, as you see, mark the holes, same width as this, and then I'll just bolt this up right here to the firewall. Pretty secure, pretty tight, shouldn't really go anywhere. So yeah, gonna mount this up, attach that hose, that's the clutch out of the way, and then we're gonna come back to this side and see what we're gonna do with these brake lines, because as you can see, there's only one output. So I'm assuming this is gonna go to the T that they provided, and then those two ports on the T will be front and rear. So you'll have to T those to the respective calipers and corners. Again, this is the factory line. I'm not gonna use the Wilwood one provided because this is fine. I'm actually just gonna trim this and mount it up, and I'll show you what that looks like quickly while I throw that on there. All right, got both reservoirs all mounted. I still need to put the clamps on the bottom. So remember, they give you two of these clamps. These are going to secure those reservoirs on top so they don't slide off. This is just an O-ring there holding on right now. So yeah, they also provide this little redirection piece. So if you don't want to go straight down on this side here, you can also do this and then have the line loop around or go wherever you want it, if in case you want to mount your reservoir somewhere else, wherever you want. And so the next piece is this little fitting they give you. So on the back of the Willwood Master, you'll see this sticker here. So it's 1/8-27 MPT inlet. Focus, there it is. And BMWs use a, I think it's an M10x1 bubble flare, if I remember correctly. So this is going to convert that 1/8-27 MPT, I think it was, it dropped the sticker, into your traditional BMW bubble flare there. So you can go ahead and use bubble style flare like you would on all the factory brake lines, and just continue using that. And then I think this as well is also going to be your bubble flare style as well. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this in there, tighten it up, and then I guess from there you would just, from that line, it would go into this distribution block here, your 3 ports, mount that wherever you want. No, this thing is not focusing. So yeah, mount this little block. You can actually use this line here, so you can go from your M10, loop it around. You can bend this line however you want. It looks like just a normal copper brake line tubing, so just bend it wherever you feel like, and then mount this little block. You have a little mounting hole here. You can also do a rivet like I did. Just mount this against the firewall or wherever you want, maybe over here, maybe on this side, and then have that line go straight to there. And then again, your 2 ports, front and rear, and then just route them however you want. In this case, I have 2 lines here, but again, they're different thread. So this is like a M14, this is a M12, and as far as I can tell, these are all the same size, I think. So yeah, if you wanted to use the factory OBD1 chassis, 2 lines, I guess you can. If you want to use this, you just need to swap out the fittings for the M10 style, and then bolt those right up, and then you'll be done. But in my case, because I am opting to use a bias valve, I think I'm actually going to use a different style fitting, because this is a different, this is like an AN style. So I'm gonna figure out which fittings this takes, and then maybe swap in a different fitting for that side. But again, if you wanted to use the factory 2 lines, you could just use a distribution block, swap out the fittings, but because I'm using this, it's going to be a little more complicated, and then I'm going to have different lines running to this. And I'm redoing the brake lines for the whole chassis anyways while it's apart before I get it painted. So yeah, I could show you that distribution block, but it's fairly simple. It's literally just the one line they provide. Here, I'll grab it. It's this fitting, you put it in the back of the master, use the provided line here to attach to this distribution block, and then out to your front and rear lines. So that's it. You just swap a couple fittings over and you're done. You're good to go there. Fill the reservoirs as you normally would, bleed the brakes, you're good to go. My setup is a little different, so I'm just going to stop here because I'm doing the Chase Bay's bias valve. I'm going to mount that somewhere, and then I'm redoing all the brake lines on this car anyways. So yeah, it seems like a pretty good product. So yeah, if you want to check these guys out, go ahead. They do have a website with a bunch of other BMW products that you might be interested in, and they are in Canada. So if you're local, cheaper prices. If you're not local, cheaper prices, because the Canadian dollar is really bad right now. So if you want to order some cheap stuff like this, brake booster delete from the States, order the SRS Concept one. It'll be like half price with the currency conversion. Pretty simple install, very straightforward. I'm only stopping here because my setup is a little different, but again, if you want to just finish it up, it's literally swap those 2 fittings over, mount the the distribution block and the provided line they give you and the fitting they give you, and that's it. You're all done. It's a much cleaner setup, of course. Super straightforward, easy install, cheaper product compared to everything else on the market, like 3 to 4 times cheaper, maybe even more. And yeah, I guess that's it for this one. I can't really show you how well the product works right now because obviously the car is in pieces, But once it's done and back out on the road after I paint it, I'm sure it'll work perfectly fine. I don't see any issue with the product. It's pretty much their own mounting plate and stuff, but it's all Willwood, genuine Willwood product, so I don't see any issue there. That's it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, I guess. If you want to see more, leave a comment on what you want to see. I'm going to get back to working on this. Hopefully it's painted by the next one. All right, peace.